not to get you on the traffic.
All right. So, yeah. All right. Good day, good evening, good night, good afternoon, goodbye. What's up? Sammy B here, the Amateur Theater.
Mr. Jonathan.
I have today with me a special guest who should shush it down until he's introduced. So here we are again at the Amateur Theater. Today I have a very special guest. Sometimes I look up to him, mainly because my stool is 2 inches shorter than his. I had to put on a 10-gallon hat to, try to look taller, but then you put on this thing. Anyway, Mr. Jonathan is a DJ, dance instructor, and all kinds of other cool stuff too. We may get into some of the other stuff that he does, but today we really want to talk about DJ. And, also, are DJs musicians? Well, I have a simple answer for that. And no! But Mr. Jonathan is going to disprove my logic. And I'm out there for you guys, all you hard-working musicians who are learning an instrument and burning your fingers and bleeding and sweat and tears. You know, not once did you go, whick, whick, whick. Which is not the DJ kind of stuff we're actually talking about today. Today we're talking about the ability to keep the room entertained just like any musician up on stage. And maybe using some music theory to do so. So, that being said, this here is Mr. Jonathan. He is the person you hear me yelling at because questions aren't working right on the monitor behind the cameras here, or when I say, yeah, the producer's hollering at me, or whatever, the producer should be doing this, that. This is the man I'm talking about. I look up to him as a producer because he is a producer outside of all of the other things he does. Some of you may know him if he shares this video with any of his people.
I'll share it.
All right. So, Mr. Jonathan, what brought you here?
I was mid-kidnap. I was kidnapped by an alien vessel filled with sex robots that fulfill your every sexual desire just from your thought without any fluids being exchanged. And my alert went off on my phone that we had this appointment, so I made them drop me off. So we're going to have to wrap this up at a reasonable hour because I got places to be.
Okay. That's a very unique way of being dropped off at the Amateur Theater. I mean, they could have beamed you down, Scotty.
What's to say they didn't?
Yeah. All right. So,
they were all dude robots, though.
Okay. Well, we're going to get this rolling like normal, like if you were a musician. So, in your opinion, give us an example of a perfect song.
Perfect song is Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. He wrote anywhere between 80 and 180 different versions of the song Hallelujah. And the one that we hear is the one he settled on with all the different verses that he had written. Very punny style of writing in that song. But my favorite part of the song is the part that says the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. Because he's actually describing in those lyrics the fourth chord being the F chord, the fifth chord being the G chord, the minor fall shifting down to A minor, and then the major lift bringing things back up to the F. So he...
Is that the key the song is in?
The key of the song is...
It's not necessarily the first note.
I think it's C.
Just so you got everybody
I believe
out
it's
there
in
knows.
C. But he lays out music theory and then also ties that in with the song that David's playing to please the Lord, where there's a lot of theory out there about what is the song that he would play on his harpsichord and what was the structure of the chords that he's playing. So this
I have
is
a theory on that. But continue.
But this is what, to me, anyways, this is the perfect song. Very heartfelt, kind of captivating. And then the first time I heard it was reprised in the soundtrack of Shrek. And I believe it was the Jeff Buckley, or
Yeah,
it could
the
have
Jeff
been
Buckley version, I believe.
could have been the Cole version. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, I ended up finding the Jeff Buckley version and just was blown away by the song. Learning later it was written by Leonard Cohen, and then kind of digging into the history. So for me, that is the perfect song because it ties in music theory along with the lyrics and kind of takes you on this journey.
So if the key is in C, I mean, that's right in the middle of all of our spectrum. You know what I mean? Why we use A440, I have no. Why don't we use middle C as the middle? Go up, go down.
Well, it's an arbitrary middle based on the keys of the piano.
Just happens to be the 44th
middle
key.
C.
Yeah, or 43 and a half.
I don't know that much about it. I don't play any instruments.
Well, that I believe to be a very well-written song myself. My theory, the chords that David may have been playing to the Lord, I mean, the earth is said to be harmonized or in the tune of F sharp, which
I've heard that.
D would be a good major chord for F sharp, because F sharp is the chord the note that gives you that major.
I believe you.
F is the D minor. All right. So anyway, what type of music does Mr. Jonathan gravitate towards?
Anything with swung 16th notes, and I've got
Swung. Explain.
that is a syncopation where the drummer typically on the hi-hat has that
Okay.
where the swing is where you have uneven triplets. So harder triplet at first, or it could be harder triplet in the third.
Your
but
own accents.
it's the drummer getting into that swing groove on those 16th notes. So any song that does that, I love. And I also have a soft spot for New Jack Swing because I grew up in the 90s.
Are they coming straight at you? Anybody? Was it got to be early 90s, late 80s, right?
They may be coming at you.
So anything swing. You don't
Really,
have
anything swing.
like, hey, what did you listen to on the way over here besides a podcast?
It was a podcast.
All right, never mind.
I didn't want to cloud my judgment to be interviewed. I was a little nervous for this one. I don't want to let you down. Wait, did he mention we're brothers?
I have not mentioned that yet. I was
We're
waiting
brothers.
till later
So
when I
didn't
started
wanna,
punching you.
I didn't want to let my brother down, so I just came in as clear-minded as possible.
So when I started this podcast stuff, it's YouTube really. I don't even have this stuff listed as a podcast yet. I haven't figured that stuff out yet. This is still new, but I hit him up and I'm like, hey, I'm doing this thing. He didn't even take me seriously. He was like, yeah, sure, you're gonna do this thing. And then he shows up one day to give me a hand with some odds and ends, and he sees all the cameras and the stage and the lighting, and he's like, oh, you're serious about doing this? Yes, I'm very serious, and I would like to interview you as a I was thinking musician, but we haven't proven that fact yet, so we're getting there. Is there a type of music that you listen to all kinds of stuff that you find confusing?
I'm not a big fan of trap music. I know some people love it, but it's
So you say trap?
trap.
Okay.
It's different. It's a slower beat, usually between 60 and 72 beats per minute, and typically rappers, a lot of mumble rappers, will flow or mumble their bars over it. It's just not my thing. If I'm going to listen to hip hop, I'm a Tupac, Biggie, Eminem, Wu-Tang Clan kind of.
I was going to give the Wu-Tang symbol, but I'm not any good at it. I remember us listening to all that stuff. Like, he used to, where are my tapes, Sammy? Like, I don't know, they were in your cassette box that you have in your bedroom. Oh no, the box is there, but I'm missing like 4 or 5 tapes. And I didn't want to tell him they were in my locker next to the Walkman that the batteries died, and it was his Walkman. So I don't know if you know what a Walkman even is nowadays, but it's the same thing we do with this. Only you have to push play. Wait, we have to still push play, don't we?
We do still have to push play.
All right. Do you know any music theory as a DJ?
I know enough about the circle of fifths to be dangerous behind the ones and twos. So where I don't necessarily understand what key something is in, because in all of my DJ programs I can switch between showing the key or showing I believe it's called the chroma key. So each key is displayed in a different form, where it will be 1A would be the major, and then 1B would be the minor that would complement it. So it's a wheel that goes all the way around 1 through 12 with A, and on the inside 1 through 12 with B, and all of the keys that are next to each other mix well together.
And
so
you use this it's
it's a program on my
program.
laptop. Yeah,
Okay.
I use mostly Serato. So when I'm mixing, I can quickly look at the key and know if the next song that I have listed is going to work. And sometimes it has to work, and so you'll cut out things like the mids and the highs and come in with the bass, and then switch things over on the mids and the highs so that you carry your bass over in the mix, or other times you quick mix. That's why hip hop DJs typically don't do long mixes versus guys that are mixing house music will do longer mixes in key, and they'll do a live remix for 32, 64, 128 bars and get the songs to flow together and really create a new song in the middle live.
paid for licensing and all that too, or
Mobile DJs don't have to pay for licensing.
even if they're
That's
getting
up-
paid?
That's up to the club you're playing in.
Oh.
BMI, ASCAP, all that stuff.
Oh, okay,
That gets
yeah.
paid by the clubs.
I've heard of some clubs that don't pay that, and everybody pays the fine on that one. When you're DJing, do you mix the? I know you don't have this question because this is a pop-up question.
It's okay.
When you're DJing, do you still? I mean, I know you do pre-mixes sometimes because you do a dance thing.
Yeah.
So you bring pre-mixed stuff because your pre-mix is usually a better suit. You're able to get your dancing people to change rhythms and things like that because you make a mix that helps you teach your lesson,
Yeah.
if you will. But do you still do it live? Like you actually are live mixing? Go out to a club and get people on the dance floor the old-fashioned way. Obviously not with records, but with MP3s.
MP3s and
waves.
waveforms.
Okay.
The controller I use is by Pioneer, and it mimics the CDJs of yesteryear. It's just in a controller format, so I can have it in a briefcase and carry it. So
No more records.
no more records. I came in at the tail end of records, so I didn't have to really carry a lot of crates. I had some because there were, in the early days of MP3s, there just weren't enough.
Good stuff out there.
There weren't enough selections of mixable stuff. So the mixable stuff was on vinyl, and you'd have your intros and your breaks and your outros so that you could seamlessly flow from song to song. So some of those I had to have on vinyl. And then as the internet improved and these companies that had put these records out realized they could sell them to me again, they started putting them into services so you could pay for the service and then download the songs. One goofy thing is you had to sign
Besides-
off. Right. You had to sign off on the website that you had every sample that they were putting in the song, that you had paid for every sample that they were using, which you don't really know going into it in advance. But I bought every song at least once, so I never was really.
I do
worried about it.
remember you. Hey, Mr. Bro, can I get a couple of zip drives of some tunes because I gotta have background music in between our sets, and he would. What genre of music are you guys playing this night at this time? Because I switch genres all the time, And he's just, yep, here you go. And they were all paid for, all legal to have. And I only used them for that thing. In fact, I probably still have a list of them that I haven't even listened to in forever because
I'm
they're
sure.
low quality stuff. All right, so you sit down at your instrument. All
Bring
right,
the
so
question on.
you sit down at your instrument. What's the, I mean, yeah, this works. What's the first chord, beat, line, phrase, or run, or mix that you're thinking about that you would, you're
Two
like,
answers.
Yeah, bam.
One, I can play a 4 on the floor beat on the drum kit. And the first drum I hit is the bass drum because that's what I'm looking for as a DJ. So if I'm doing a sound check with you, which I've done when you set up a new kit and you set up the room and you just need someone to just play a beat while you're getting levels, you know I can keep a basic 4 on the floor, non-swung, even though swing's my favorite. I just haven't mastered that part yet. But I hit the bass drum first and just to get a feel for the kit and move on from there. As far as a DJ, a song that I've always used, and it's from the Will Smith movie where he portrayed Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
R. Kelly.
Ali is the name of the movie.
It is. R. Kelly sang the song "I'm the Greatest," and the chorus of that, especially toward the end when the whole choir's in, just is a song that I've always used when I'm going into a gig and I'm a little nervous about it. I just sit in the car after everything's set up and I've sound checked. I'm always early. I got an hour before anyone's going to be in there. I set a playlist to play softly in the background and go out to the car and push play on a CD. And that's the song I'm playing to get myself in the mode to perform. Because believe it or not, unlike yourself, I'm really an introvert. When it's time for me to perform, I have to get into that mode. But if I had my druthers, I would be by myself at my house, puttering around the shop, talking to no one. But when it's time to be on the sales floor, when it's time to be a DJ, when it's time to be the instructor, I do exactly like you did when you started the podcast. I clap my hands, and there's the switch that goes off, and I become Mr. Jonathan, the persona I had to create to be a DJ and to be able to perform in front of people.
Yeah, that's why I took a whole bunch of my letters off the end of my first name and just slapped a Y at the end of it and made my own little. In fact, I'm Sammy B. I'm known as the Biz. I'm known as What It Is, Jive Turkey. All kinds of fun stuff. But we do need a persona to be able to just lose yourself in your craft. You agree to that?
For sure.
Whether, I'm not saying be a different person, I'm just saying be a different person. So if you didn't have the, I have to change up this question
That's
just
okay.
a little bit. The answer can still kind of be the same. If you didn't have your music theory little chart, would you still be able to produce your mixes? And this can be yes or no, and then I'll ask the question the way it's written.
Yeah, because I do have an ear for being able to tell when something is on beat, off beat, in key, off key, and some things on that chart work well going across. You know,
Which have nothing to do with it being on it. Yeah.
Correct. So based on whatever the minor keys are, or maybe there's a bridge portion where they do a key shift for a second. So there's certain times where certain songs just work, and I have worked those out, and they're in order in my list as I'm doing different kinds of parties. I'm obsessive about saving lists, and that way I can program a new set in front of a live audience because I've seen that audience before. So I just, much like a DJ back in the day would load their crates, okay, the crate that's the closest to me, those are my bangers. That I'm definitely going to play. And then every DJ, going all the way back to the start of DJing with DJ Kool Herc in the late 70s, early 80s, you had your crate of, oh shit, I need to get myself out of a jam, and that's what I call that playlist. This is guaranteed. It doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter what just happened, and I get horror stories, but this will get me out of a jam, at least for one or two songs, so I can get the audience back into a flow. Because as a DJ, really what you're trying to do is get everybody in the room. You got a room of 200 people. They all have to be on the same page to have a dance floor. You couldn't just start as a DJ, be like a stand-up comedian. Bill Burr doesn't walk on stage unless the audience is warmed up. So you put sort of a first tier guy out there to kind of start, and he's cutting his teeth. He doesn't even have to be funny, because the next guy can make fun of that guy and get the audience used to laughing. And then by the time Burr comes on, everybody's warmed up, and now they understand they're here for a comedy show, and that's kind of how that works. When it comes to DJing,
Headliner always gets the headlining spot.
well, that's the thing is I am the headliner, but I'm also the opening act. So the opening act is cocktail music, and it's toe tapping, swingier stuff to kind of, and I'm watching people's toes, believe it or not, in the audience as they're having their, their lubrication for dancing later, and seeing what music that I'm playing is connecting with who or whom, and then slowly
it's called reading the room.
bring those people together with bigger sounds and more orchestration, more catchy tunes, catchy hooks. And then when it's time to hit them with the hot note, they're putty in my hands.
See, I'm starting to see a pattern here where, as a working or non-working amateur musician like myself, I need to get myself into the persona. You get yourself into the persona. I need to, what are some of the other things we were doing?
Warm up the crowd?
Yeah, warming up the crowd, being on it, reading the room. So far, all these things musicians do. So I'm still not buying the musician thing yet, but we're heading in the right direction. So do you feel you need music theory to write music, or in your case, mix music, or maybe just to write? That's a good question all by itself.
I understand that the having things in major scales is going to be kind of uplifting. You get into minors and you're adding some drama. I do make music for my swing dances where I had this problem where I listen to a lot of music, thousands of songs a month. I burn through. Good thing Spotify doesn't work it on credits, because I'll listen to 30 seconds of a song and skip. I don't need to hear the whole song. It either is going to work in a room or it's not.
Right.
So I'll go through 1,000 songs, and I may get, say, 10 that I put on a side list. And when I get to live, the ones that I went back to and listened to over and over again are the ones I end up being confident that I'm going to play, because, again, I'm the only guy up there.
Right.
So if I have one song that's a banger and the next song sucks, I could still play a new song, but if that one sucks, now I got to go into the old stuff that, reach over here and pull out the get out of a jam crate and slap one of those on. So when I'm creating music,
you still have a record player crate?
No, it's in the computer.
Oh, gotcha.
It's in the computer.
It's a playlist. Sorry.
So one of the problems I have is that I get about 2 gigs out of a song that I found. And then because of Shazam and SoundHound and all these apps, everybody has access to the music that I'm playing, and they share it with each other. Oh, I heard this at Mr. Jonathan's party. And it gets to another DJ that's playing swing, and I go to another party a month later, and this song that I was so proud of that I was the only one that had, some other DJ's packing the dance floor with it, and that just pisses me off. So now I discovered the ability to make the backbeats with AI. So there is...
Here we go.
The beautiful thing about AI is that it's going to give me what I ask for. So I'll say I want major chords. I want things that are going to be uplifting. I want a driven tempo. I want a certain kind of groove. I want swung 16th notes. So if I didn't know what I know musically, I would just be relying on this AI to just make the music.
What we end up on all those people saying AI music sucks. It's usually someone who has
they have no
clue
idea what they're doing. I know exactly what I want. I want breaks. I want snaps and claps to drive the beat. I want...
well, you're inspired by the dance of the music,
correct,
which is an emotion.
I want the thunderous pounding of the bass drum. I want a walking bass line, especially at the start of a song. You get a guy that can play that stand-up bass and really get... That's the guy that's setting the groove for the whole band, because you started as a bass player. That guy, and even if it's AI, he's playing it perfectly. That is what's going to drive the room So when I'm playing the AI generated music, I'm getting 100% activation onto the dance floor. There is nobody sitting out. And when I'm playing the Get Out of a Jam crate, I get 75% of the people because I'm asking the AI to give me exactly what I want and what the dancers want. Those 32 count hits where the break happens on the last five, the snaps and claps, like I said, the driving beat coming from the kick drum, 4 on the floor from the bottom part of the kit, but swung 16th notes up on the hi-hat. So I'm asking the AI to give me every single cool thing that could possibly be in a swing song. And then I did one where I put the lyrics of Hallelujah in, which
He's
isn't
like, all right,
even in
Mr.
4/4 time.
AI, whatever one you use, you don't have to tell anyone. I would like you to please be Buddy Rich for this entire song. Thank you.
Well, that's the thing is you can't, with the one I'm using, you can't pick artists.
No,
So you have
right.
to, you actually have to, you have to understand what it is that you're dealing with. So Buddy Rich is a drummer. That's different. But if I wanted James Hunter, I want an airy guitar feel. I want a soulful vocal, but a soulful vocal from a white guy. In his case, he is white. He does have a darker tone to his voice, like he was, like he grew up in the ghetto. But you can still tell it's a white voice. Versus when you listen to Maxwell, you can hear that he has it. You can hear he's black in the song. I'm not being racist. I'm just saying that's what you hear. So when I'm making the different songs, I think to myself, well, wouldn't it be cool if I had this James Brown soulfulness, but I dumped Frank Sinatra lyrics into it?
There's a few things on YouTube. I'm going to pronounce the names wrong, so I'm not even going to give them a plug, but where they have artists come in and cover a song and in their style. That's similar to like you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's hard to watch because they show you so much of what it sounds like at the end, at the beginning. I guess that draws you in, but I already know what it sounds like now because they showed me.
I like when they take the professional drummers and they ask them if they've ever heard this song before, and the guy's like, "No, I've never
Heard Nirvana."
And then they play it, and you watch the drummer start to build what they would do in the song because they use AI to take the drums out. So this professional drummer starts doing his thing, and then they play the original drum set, how that drums are supposed to go, and then the guy sometimes nails it, whatever, the song was a number one or whatever, but and other times it's just it's a very cool take.
Yep. I like it when they have like a metal drummer do something way outside their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like they pull a Americana tune out or something, and the guy's just like, I think I've seen
Rocking it out.
Wolfgang Van Halen rip some song. I'm pretty sure it's on Drumeo is what we're talking about.
That makes sense.
Really good place to learn. And you want to learn drums, Drumeo's the place. So you're not per se a musician yet. We're working our way up the ladder to things you talk about and things you have to do in order to get the crowd to respond with music you are doing. I'm just curious. So you have access to electricity real close to you. You have computer down here if you need it. You have, I'm sure, a ridiculous phone in your back pocket.
I do.
All right. Ready, G chord, go.
That's not how this works.
Come on. Any musician will be able to figure out a quick G chord.
I would have to look it up.
I mean, you could literally just walk up to someone's front door and...
That's not
G.
a chord. There's only 2 notes.
La, la. All right, so there we go.
Well, you got me. I can't play a G chord.
All right, so that being said, tell me your first experience with a band. You ever played in a band as a DJ, like the Beastie Boy?
Well, I DJ'd for the Wu-Tang Clan, but that's a different story.
All right. All right.
First band that I played with was a band, you may have heard of them. They're called Just All Right.
I
And
never heard of them.
Backyard Barbecue. It was your band, dickhead.
Oh,
Backyard Barbecue for 4th of July. And I was set up playing music and kind of had some people dancing on the grass. We were having a good time. Your band's about to go on, and there was something, either you broke a guitar string or something happened, and you just kind of went like this, and I reached into my get out of jail free card playlist, just dragged a song over and kind of kept the energy going. You finished, and you started playing along with what I was playing, and I just faded it out, and you and Mac did your thing, and then we're ready to play the next song. So you played your song, and then song number 2 must have been in a different key, or something happened with the tuning, but you were stalling, and I just went with the up fader and had another song ready to go for when it was time for me to play later. Played that, kept the energy going, and then you played Ballroom Blitz. And I did a quick search. I had it. I knew where you were going with the oh yeah. So I had it queued up, and you started belting out, and I scratched over you and
Yes, he
went,
did.
oh yeah! And you laughed out loud so hard that you could barely finish the song. And I knew that we had something. So I started, while you were playing, I started loading, depending on what it sounded like the energy was at the end of your song, A or B. And I just would pick one. And it was always something with a catchy hook, Steelers wheel stuck in the middle with you. Stuff that was, I would never play for a regular dance floor, but that was so catchy, people would sing along. And all I was trying to do was keep people engaged with where you were with the band. And at the end, you came up and gave me a high five and was like, that was the best gig ever. We were playing for like 25 people. It wasn't...
They had a good experience.
They had a
for
good
sure.
experience, but more important than that, we had fun and made each other laugh.
Yep.
And that's a
Brothers
memory I'll
being
keep
brothers.
forever.
We also took that on the road because like the next 4, 5, 6 gigs that I was playing at, all of a sudden I told my brother, hey, I got the gig over here, and bam, there he is, and he's got his DJ stuff. He stopped bringing his speakers, thank the Lord. But yeah, just plugged in and just started ripping. It was, and people were enjoying it. They thought that he was part of the band, which, I guess I didn't split any of the tips with him, I'll tell you that much.
There were
So-
tips?
Yes. I'm not sure if this, could any of the bands you've been in define that time in your life?
For sure. That's
Okay.
playing with you many times, and anytime I hear the song Ballroom Blitz on the radio, even though your version's different, I just laugh about the oh yeah.
And it brings you back to that time.
I have a version of Stray Cat Strut similar to the version that you play. In fact, I think
Yeah, all hacked up and
I think-
omit every lead in it.
your version came from this version. Peggy Polk, I think her name is.
My version came from a dissection that our cousin Christopher did, and I learned the root notes on the bass guitar. None of the walking lines or any of the cool stuff that they do. Just a hack version of it because we were just trying to get out there and play as quick as we could, which is not the right way to learn and play music and get out there and play, if you ask me. I believe you pretty much got all of that. I believe we're on this one. So, other than myself, who are your influences musically?
My biggest influence as a DJ probably was a cat by the name of John Festa out of New York. He and another guy I met through him, Andrew D'Angelo. John taught me that you play the music that your audience needs to hear. What they want has nothing to do with it. And if anyone wants to follow me on my SoundCloud, it's Mr. Jonathan on SoundCloud. I have a couple of mixes, and one of them starts off with me speaking, and it says that I learned a long time
The
ago.
Knight Rider one?
That's another one. That having a full dance floor is no indication that I'm playing something they could dance to. Because I've had people, it's usually women, they've got half their head shaved, and they've got the top flopped over like Donald Trump's hair, and they walk
What's
up
under his hat?
and they say, can you just play something that we can dance to? And I just look at them and go, you're the only one not dancing. The whole rest of the room is digging on the vibe of this song and you don't like it, sure, give me something that you like. You cannot make them happy. So you have to play what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. This is the next song that needs to happen. And the thing I learned from Andrew was how to dig, because I've seen that dude play 10 songs in a row that he found that morning and just killed that room, because you start to develop your own sound and you start to learn what you love. And if you're playing what you love, your audience will connect with you.
Emotion.
If you're just playing music and you just kind of flatline and you're not connected to the music, it doesn't speak to you, it's not driving you from within, then your audience is going to pick up on that. So even, yes, as a DJ, I'm playing stuff, and that's why I gave up the weddings and I gave up the private functions and all that stuff. The money was great. The money was great. But I stopped loving the music. And now when I'm playing at swing gigs, I don't need to bring all my equipment. I can literally plug my laptop into a Bose tower I set up in 2 seconds. But I'm playing music that I love, and I'm connected to the music. Therefore, my audience is connected to me, and they love it. The same songs could be played by another DJ, and the audience is not going to connect with them
because they don't love it.
Because that DJ doesn't love that song. They're playing it because someone told them about it on Shazam.
Jonathan's playing it. You gotta put it on. It's the best.
Oh, well, Mr. Jonathan, so far, I'm digging your vibe. Digging it. Some people don't, but do you have a favorite band? Or
for favorites, it's a toss-up. I mentioned James Hunter before. I just love his groove. He has a very Brian Setzer-esque guitar style.
He's only saying that because I like Brian Setzer.
Well, his guitar style is a little less bright. It's a little flatter, but his drummer swings. Also, Raphael Sadiq, I mentioned that I love New Jack Swing. Raphael Sadiq is still putting songs out. He was in Tony. Did you know that?
No.
So he was the lead singer of Tony, which I always loved as a kid. But he's putting out this...
That's the song that goes, joy and pain. Right?
That's not him, no.
New Jack Swing coming at you. That's in that song. That
is in that song.
I haven't seen. He knows a lot more about music, producers, artists than most people who are covering songs with a guitar. That I do recognize, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt, but I was recognizing the...
But he has this R&B approach to a New Jack Swing backbeat that
coming at you.
It just connects with me, and I love playing it. Joss Stone is another one.
Yeah.
She has such power in her vocals. I started listening to her. She was 16. She put out her first album, and that album had some killer swing songs on it.
You like anything in the rock genre? Besides, stuff I'm putting out, which is crap.
Ringo Starr has a cover of Only You that he does a great job with it. It's more of a cha-cha kind of rhythm that he's playing on the drums.
Isn't he a country star now?
I think people just say that. It's still poppy sounding.
Okay, pop country is still...
But, yeah, I mean...
It's from some country.
The new country is the same as pop music as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Being that you mixing beats and cymbals and keys together, do you have a favorite instrumentalist musically that is, out there ripping it right now?
Let me consult my notes.
Jeff Beck, or I think this is question 11.
Thank you for that. This is 12. It's Prince. Definitely Prince.
That's a... Hello. Man can play some musical instruments.
You've seen his performance. Everyone's seen his performance on Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where he throws the guitar in the air. And that was an answer to Rolling Stone not putting him in the top 100 best guitar players of all time. And he solidified himself as... Taste is subjective, so I'm not going to say he is the best to ever play the guitar, but he could play every instrument. He could record the entire album in his studio at home and then just bring the band out for the live shows, and that they could learn from the recordings that he made. The guy was just so talented. So if you can't argue with the answer, Prince, but I'm not. I wouldn't say that Prince is the best, but for me,
favorite.
For me, he's my favorite.
Yeah. You don't think he was a little pretentious and overplaying when he was doing
absolutely.
that?
Absolutely.
They're like, all right, your lead is done, and he's like, I'm going to move this into this.
Let me lay back on the bouncer real quick.
Yeah.
Let me show you how to solo with just harmonics for a second. Ding, 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 ding. Sick.
Very sick.
Sick.
Do you have a favorite lick or lead or run?
Because I don't. I don't
play. That's right. You don't play music.
I don't play an instrument.
Oh, okay.
But I've listened to my version of Hallelujah about 100 times in the last 3 weeks since I made it. I took 8/12 timing, made it 4/4 timing, and just the song just came alive in a much different way than Leonard Cohen ever anticipated.
So I'm gonna give another pop-up question here. Have you used AI to mix two songs together like you would do as a? Have you tried that yet?
No, there are apps out there that do it, but I'm not. I make mashups the old school way, where I go and either find the instrumental, or I do use AI to generate the instrumentals, but they go into a program. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the program. Ableton. I use Ableton. So once I get the beats all mapped out and the lyrics, the vocals all mapped out, then I can cut and paste, and I make the mashups, and you can hear that on SoundCloud.
All right, well, I've known you for, what time is it? At least 46 years. Coming up real soon now.
Yep, your birthday's right around the corner.
Right around the corner. You can tell what month it is just by how thick my beard is. We are in the middle of winter. I work outside. So, what was my question?
How do I keep my chops out?
No. I had a different, question, which will come back to me.
All right.
So yeah, I guess.
We got time.
How do you keep? Oh, here it is. Here it is, folks. Absent-minded professor over here. I've known you for 46 years. I randomly found out that you were a DJ out killing it at clubs late at night, Manchester, Vegas, all over the place, playing with Wu-Tang, all these places, people, things. Had no idea. Last I knew, you were a gymnastics instructor. And at nighttime, he was this killer DJ. I had no idea for the longest time until I want to say our cousin Christopher was in one of my bands at the time, was just like, oh, yeah, I was over at your brother's doing this Wednesday night
Webcast
DJ
Wednesday
thing. Yeah, and I'm like, what? And so I tune in one time, and there's the two of you pulling vinyl and doing it old school. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that started off. I was DJing pretty close to full time. I still had the gymnastics gig part time.
This is like 05, 06, 04.
No, it was later than that. It would have been
08.
10. I think 2010.
2010.
Because streaming had just become a thing. You could use Ustream.tv or Justin.tv. It had just become a thing, and I found out about it because I had left a voicemail on my web developer's voicemail at 3 o'clock in the morning. I had just wrapped up an unbelievable set in my basement with 2 other DJs. We were drinking wine, smoking cigars, having a blast, and I left a voicemail. And then 3 hours later, when he got up, he called me and left me a voicemail trying to wake me up because I probably woke him up. It was a dick move. Yep. But a couple glasses of wine, whatever. Anyways,
bottles.
I'm like, I need a way to capture this because people need to see what just happened. I mean, we were yelling out songs, and someone would throw a record and be like, here's an instrumental, and then someone else would be like, here's a vocal, and try to make the mashup happen, and you're listening and trying to, especially with records, if you didn't already time it out and write down what the beats per minute were, now you're just
Trying
listening
to
and like,
slow it down.
speed it up, slow it down, you get it as close as you can and slam the fader. And we were just laughing so hard at each other and with each other. So I wanted to get that on TV, on the radio, on the internet. So he got back to me and he's like, yeah, there's this new thing called Ustream.tv. No one knew how to connect to it. I got a webcam, and
This
I got
is 2-3 years before YouTube even came out.
YouTube.
Was like 13.
YouTube was out because my first YouTube video went up in 2008. So
Oh,
YouTube
okay.
was out, but YouTube did not have you couldn't stream on YouTube yet. So I get it. By the grace of God, I figure out how to plug in all the stuff, and I actually get a stream to go out. And I had DJ Midas on first because he was technical enough that if the shit hit the fan, he could help me. Christopher wasn't available yet, so I had already booked Christopher, our cousin, and half the reason I'm a DJ. And we start playing, and
Yet he wasn't in the list on the influences.
there's a chat box, and people are yelling in the chat box, play this, play that, and we're just mixing stuff live and just having a good time. And then Christopher came on and blew our minds because he used Ableton, and he had this little Akai set of pads, and he programmed the pads to trigger specific signals in his Ableton. And he did an hour-long remix of every song. I swear it was every song. I mean, he's turning knobs and he's adding reverb and I'm just sitting there like, we just watched history be made. People can't just do this.
I think that's the one I actually tuned in on and was like mind blown.
People think that guys like Cascade that are big name DJs, they get up there and they're mixing live. No, they pre-mixed it on their laptop, and they are up there adding some effects, but they're putting on a show because they're getting paid too much to risk crashing beats and
Correct.
ruining their reputation. So this was Christopher doing it live right there in front of 60 people watching worldwide.
And I've seen him jump on a laptop with a program, with Serato program or whatever, and do the same thing with the most limited. I mean, all the music was available, but he still had to search it, look for,
Yeah, he's super talented.
really, really good. Really good. I got to get him on real soon. Chris, if you're watching, he's not. We need you over here at the Amateur Theater. Biggest
we do.
amateur we know. So, how do you keep your chops up as a DJ?
Well, we both had the same math teacher, and his famous saying was David C. Saba, who's no longer with us. But his famous saying was, boring is beautiful. And
Very.
much like a band, I have to know the music inside and out, especially if I'm going to be mixing it. You just can't listen to a new song and then know exactly where to mix it. So new songs would come out, and I'd be even playing a middle school dance. I still gave them the best show that I could. I would learn the music, learn what worked for mixing into it, mixing out of it. Is the song bringing people up? Is it
Basically
bringing
making a
them
set
down?
list.
Making a set list, but also you always have other options, and that weren't always available with CDs and with records. You had your oh shit crate, but there might be a song buried in over there, and you need the time to go looking for it. So it's playlists, it's crates, it's side lists, and just having this chaotic plan that comes together as the night forms. So to keep your chops up, it's boring is beautiful. You practice until you're bored, and then do one or two more, and that's when you actually learn. That's when it becomes muscle memory, and that's from playing an instrument to being a
Sure.
DJ, being a dancer, gymnastics, all of the stuff, karate, everything you could possibly do. If you practice it past boredom, that's when you're getting your black belt. That's when you're really learning your craft and honing it. Up
That's
until then, you're
A
just,
plateau that you have to get past. Yep.
if you have done it enough times to be bored, you've almost done it enough times.
To never do it again? Or
No.
Do you have a? I mean, is that part of your practice regimen? Do you?
I listen to both new music to find new songs, but also I listen to the stuff that I'm playing now to make sure that the vibe is still right. Again, even though I'm not mixing music beat for beat with a swing dance, you still are trying to match vibes. So if you
Right.
have a driven, just heart-wrenching slow song where someone's doing a nightclub two-step and it's ripping your heart out, you can't just go into some bubblegum Britney Spears song. And listen, the bubblegum Britney Spears song has its place. Early in the night, maybe, but you want to be able to sort of match the tonality of what you're dealing with that slower song and bring your audience into something else that's heartfelt, that's a little faster, and then bring them into something that's a little more upbeat. And you can have ebbs and flows throughout the night and bring them on a journey. And again, it goes back to what they need to hear versus
Reading
what
the
they
room.
want.
I mean, everything you're saying, reading the room. You could have a whole plan, a whole set list, and you're like, wait a minute, if I just give them this quick tune, I could then give them that tune just by the sheer, you like you said, you've been practicing it to the point of boredom, listening to the music, maybe even have your own music. I mean, do you write music now?
I'm starting to dabble into writing lyrics or sometimes rewriting lyrics because of copyright stuff.
Right.
In the end, for me, the music itself is a conduit to drive the energy in the room. So that's the thing that drives me, is being able to capture an audience. So the performance of the song, I'm not performing it, I'm pushing play in a playlist. But being able to capture the audience and hold their attention all night, there's nothing better than starting with, even if it's a small party, you start with 50 people in the room, and at the end of the night, you have 50 people and the bartender was dancing. 51. That's a huge win. That means I did my job.
I like it. I like it. I like it. So you write lyrics, and what do you just plug them into AI for the music?
You make it sound so like it's not work. It takes me as much as 3 days to
It's about how long it takes me to edit one of these videos.
compose the song. You could be using AI to edit your videos, but it takes about 3 days to be able to work through the prompts, and I'm using multiple AIs to train each other to be able to get what I'm looking for. And now I'm probably 50 songs in. It's getting harder, so it's taking longer, and that's why I have always written poetry. So I'm starting to dig into some of my love songs, poems, and be able to figure out what would the cadence be if I wanted this to be a song, and that's where I'm starting from. So there'll be a few of those coming out shortly.
I must say, not very many people can pull off a corduroy hat like you can, Mr. Jonathan.
It's the only hat
I
I
just
have that
looked
would match
over
my
and
pocket
was like,
square.
that is a corduroy hat he's wearing. I can't believe it. I mean, Tom Petty would be proud. Can you make it go zzz, zzz, zzz between your legs?
No.
Do you? I mean, you said you've written a few tunes for like you've used AI to
Generate the
create a
music in the
mix.
background, and so I have not released a completely 100% me lyrics song yet. Most of the stuff has been either starting a prompt with an idea. I want this to be. We did a meatball event where I competed with a set of meatballs. I've been doing it for 8 years, and I created through prompting this very epic 30-second bumper for when I was announced for the meatball competition, Mr. J, the Meatball Man. So I wrote the lyrics for it, but it was a 30-second drop, but it was epic.
Did you win the meatball?
No, tied for fourth.
Tied for fourth. There
There's
was
only 5 competitors.
4 competitors.
I'm tied for last place, but I just say I'm tied for fourth. It turns out that people buy tickets to the meatball competitions to watch me lose. I'm the Sergeant Slaughter of meatball competing.
I have noticed on a lot of your things you do podcast wise, and much you end up having to take the brunt of some things. You do it well.
Thank you.
You take it with face, and Andy takes it in the face.
Well, that's the in life. There's sort of there's faces. There's the good guy, and then there's the heel, the bad guy, and it never bothered me to be the heel and have people.
You're a good guy.
But being the heel doesn't mean you're a bad guy. It just means that you're going to take the criticism, you're going to take the ball busting, and as long as everything is in good fun, I could take all the ball busting that anyone's going to dish out. It's if someone's trying to be mean or they're trying to be hurtful or whatever, that's a different story. But this is all tongue in cheek. It's all the podcast we're on, the Cigar Authority. It's very informative, a lot of cigar information, but it's also dick and fart jokes and me being the butt of a lot of jokes. But it's all in good fun. I love the guys that are on the show with me. It's just good.
It's good. It's good. What advice could you give a younger DJ? I'm gonna use DJ. I mean, I'd say musician, but
Yeah,
we
but
still
even-
aren't there yet.
Even musicians, it's really you've got to know your instrument. You've got to know not only know your instrument, but you have to be playing music that you connect with. And that's what is going to drive your audience. And maybe you're only going to play in a garage band and it's just going to be at backyard barbecues. It
It's
doesn't
still fun.
It's absolutely fun, but if you can connect to the music that you're playing and you play it with passion, you play your instrument with passion, that's what's going to connect to other people and that's what's going to draw them to you. And maybe it draws you out of the garage and into bigger gigs. Listen, if you got stage fright like me, you create a persona. Mr. Jonathan's taken, by the way, it's patented.
Yep, the biz.
You can't
Taken,
have that.
patented. That's good advice. It's very good advice. Very good advice. I should have been uploading my next question to the board. Do you still play out regularly?
Yeah, I play at, I teach.
Besides your swing dances. Does that count?
No, that counts.
All right, that counts.
So I have.
Which are really good if you've ever want to learn. I mean, usually you do a lesson too.
Always a lesson, yeah.
Always a lesson. If you ever go to one of his swing dance parties, you will be dancing very easily. Even if I was dancing with, and he makes you dance with different you get to dance with different partners for a few minutes to get your, it's a rotation. You're not with the same person who keeps stepping on your foot or you're stepping on.
You don't even need me here for the interview. You could just answer the questions yourself.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
So I teach every Thursday night at
Where
the
can we see you
Roma
regularly?
Restaurant in Haverhill, Massachusetts, 29 Middlesex Street. They've got a gorgeous ballroom that we've been dancing in for 40 years upstairs. So I teach on Thursday nights at 6:45 and then once a month, and I post it on my website, right on my Google Calendar. Once a month, there's a party there on Friday nights. The next one is going to be the Blue Jean Ball, where we encourage people to wear outfits completely comprised of denim. You have denim hats, denim jackets.
Do they have to be blue?
Canadian tuxedos. They could be black. It's just a denim ball. I did call it the Blue Jean Ball, like Billie Jean, but Blue Jean.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was going with it.
Yeah.
Blue Jean is not my cover balls. I don't know. And then I also have another party on the first Sunday of the month in Manchester at the Girls at Work. Great little spot, kind of a hallway. I teach a lesson, and it's a much darker atmosphere.
This guy thinks I'm getting this video out before
get
then.
away with
No, I'm just kidding.
playing kind of more out there music. It's a more accepting audience. Really great people. So those are the two places where I'm playing out often.
I'm gonna have to get out there and do some stepping on people's toes with you, for you. What is the most amount of people you've played for?
So my current boss at the cigar store, Two Guys Cigars, by the way, in Salem, New Hampshire, David threw an anniversary party years ago, and I was trying to fill a boat with people. I rented a boat, and I was trying to sell tickets. And before I put the tickets on sale, I wanted to know if he wanted to sponsor the boat cruise. And my idea was it was a pimp and hoe party. So people dressed up like pimps and hoes, and gender didn't matter. You could be either. And my thought was if somebody wanted a cigar on the cruise, that they could have a cigar, and if two guys would offer the cigar, I'd put them on the flyer. So he said, yeah, that's how many you need? 150?
And is this the early in your relationship with two guys?
Very early.
Yeah.
So he says, how many cigars you need? And I said, the boat holds 150. He goes, all right, I'll get you 6 bundles. That's 160 cigars. You keep the extra. What else? You want me to pay for the flyers too? I didn't even thought of that. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
we want you to pay for the
Pay
flyers.
That's going to be whatever it was, $350. Done. Now let's talk about why you're really here. And I'm like, well, I thought that was why I was here. He goes, listen, I'm throwing a mixed martial arts fight for our next anniversary party. Here's the dates. Make sure you're available. I want enough sound to make 3,000 people feel the music. I did not have enough sound to make 3,000 people feel the music.
Even with the house, they didn't have a house system?
Even with the house system. It was a hockey rink that they
Oh,
put
yeah.
a floor
You don't
down
want to
on.
use that system.
I did plug into it, but just use it for the background. So I bought bigger sound. I borrowed bigger sound. I rented some sound. I had a DJ proxy whose instructions were, if I go down from stress with a heart attack, you push play on the fighter's music first and call 911 second.
I remember.
So I was there early. I stayed and got all my stuff picked up before anybody else was done. He came up to me and he gave me the check. It was $3,600 and said, if I made a single penny on this party, I'd have tipped you. You're the only vendor out of 100 that delivered. He ended up only selling 1,500 or 1,600 tickets. So that's the biggest party I've ever played for. He wanted all rock songs. So I got every rock song I could think of and then some. And this was before Spotify. I went through every single song and edited out anything that was risque so that, and kids could listen to it and they could still have the rah-rah energy of Rob Zombie, but not reverse the word bitches. That just is what it is.
Bitches get stitches, isn't that?
Snitches get stitches.
Oh, all right. What's the least?
Last year's
Besides later when we do a closed curtain session.
Last year, at the Valentine's Day party was actually on Valentine's. There were 2 other parties going on at the same time at different venues in the Boston area. There was 6 of us, and I played for the full time. They stayed and partied, and I danced my ass off, and so I think it was, including me, 6 people.
6 people. Yep. The luxury.
It is what it is, man.
You didn't have a bartender, is what it was.
Oh, we had a bar. I lost money on that one because I tipped the bartender $50 at the start of the party.
That's another person, isn't it?
True. All right, so 7
See that?
people.
I just gained you a follower.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. What is your most memorable show?
Outside of playing with you, of course. I want to give different answers to your questions and not keep saying the same shit. In 2015, I was inducted into the National Living Legends of Dance. I had gone to the party 2 years in a row prior to that.
Ma'am?
And I had requested being able to DJ, and I had said to the promoter, her name was Berta, I will take the worst spots, because most of the time people come in and they just have a high opinion of themselves and they try to get the best spots. I said, I'll take the worst spots, give me the spots no one wants, and let me do it. And if I do well this year, we can talk next year and see what happens. And there were a couple of good old boys that were running the sound and all that. We ended up swapping music and really enjoying each other's company. And they both invited me to keep playing with them. So it would be, they normally would sort of ping pong back and forth. One guy would play 2, the other guy would play 2. And they kept asking me to come up. And this was an older crowd. And I tend to like older music anyways. So I was just, after the first hour, I was a little nervous. I kind of played it a little tight as far as the music, like bangers only. And then I started loosening up and just started playing songs that I loved. I literally put the music in my iTunes in order by the number of plays and started at 100 plays and went up and just, oh, I love that song. Here we go. Oh, I love that song. And those good old boys, they took to it. They loved it. And they invited me back that Sunday, which was a big deal for me, to play their gospel hour, which I love gospel music, and I've collected it forever. So I was able to get in there and play some stuff they had never heard. And that weekend was just epic. And I did get invited back and eventually got the whole spot. I got to be the headliner on the Black Tie Night the next year and the year after, and they had me do a demo. She paid very well. I was able to break even on the party because it would cost whatever $900 to get there. She'd comp my room and she'd give me about $900 in cash. So I'd break even on the party, but that party wasn't about making money. That party was about playing awesome music that I loved to people that would appreciate it. And she's since passed on during COVID, and the people that took over the event, I've had.
And there wasn't more than 1,500 people there?
No, that was 500.
Oh, okay.
But that was 500 people on a floor that would fit 200. I'm telling you,
always the way.
They destroyed the dance floor every night, and I mean destroyed. They had to go out and get a tap and die set to recut. It's a parquet floor. Recut the groove to put a bigger holder to try to really pin the floor together because these old people were killing it on the dance floor. The pieces would separate and they didn't give a shit. They would just step over the crack.
In time.
Some of them are 80. Dudes ripping spins and like just almost hitting the edge of the parquet and then stopping and coming out. Just unbelievable crowd, unbelievable dancing. But that's the one that it was like cherry on the top. Not only got inducted, but got a chance to play the stuff that I love playing to people that appreciate it.
And what was it one more time?
National Living Legends of Dance.
Just wanted to get that in case people want to look it up. What is the biggest malfunction or disaster that you've had DJing, and how did you overcome it?
So my boy Jack that taught me how to DJ weddings, I hired him to come in and do the aisle music while I was setting up close to a mile away. I had 2 Bose towers, and he had his speaker in his trunk, but I'm like, we'll just use mine. I got there early, set mine up, tested it, worked. He went to test it, and it blew. So his car was the mile away because that's where the parking was. So we met at his car, and I humped his stuff all the way over to get him set up, and then humped my stuff all the way back in a tuxedo. Tried to like cool myself off a little bit. It was 90 degrees out, and we were able to get through it. And now I bought a couple of those mini Bose towers for just such an occasion, because not only are they bulletproof, but you can carry a bunch of them and you don't have to worry about them blowing up.
So your Bose tower that costs a few $3,000.
$3,000.
Yeah. Just
Stopped
blows up.
working.
How many people per se? What kind of party was it?
It's a wedding. There were 250 people, and we needed that music. For
them brides, they get a little ornery, don't
testy.
they? Yeah.
I always wonder where my mandibular was. I'll show you where your mandibular was. You got music right now.
Oh, sorry.
I could have done it by just moving my working tower over, and I could have fudged through it, but Jack had his stuff.
I have seen you once at a wedding DJing where there was going to be a band playing, and you played every cover song that band was going to play.
That's because the band did not send me their set list in advance as requested.
A lot of people don't necessarily get the questions before they come up on the thing with all your fancy answers and stuff. You're doing very well.
It's just so that I have a kind of a starting point.
All right. So, what does music give to you?
That's joy. It gives me joy, and it gives me joy. It gives it to me by itself, just listening to the music. But then knowing that it can be a tool to bring someone else joy, that's the that's everything. That's why I listen to music. That's why I dance. That's why I love it. That's why I love to still play. I do well enough at my job. I don't have to have a side hustle. It really isn't a side hustle. It's a side passion. It's not. I mean, I make a few dollars. It's not bringing home the bacon by any stretch, but it's fun, and it allows me to be able to introduce people to music they wouldn't otherwise hear.
Because you're out there searching for stuff.
I'm searching.
Yeah. I enjoy editing the videos that I'm recording. It actually, I feel, shows my performance. I'm not, I'm always cutting. Hey, when I'm talking, I do cut to me because I'm the host. But, I mean, I try to show the person that's sitting in this chair the best that I can show this person based on the questions and how you answer. Do you feel, I believe this is the next question, do you feel that you give back as much to music as music gives to you?
100%. And that's the sort of the balance of life, isn't it? Is if you don't want to be in a position ever where you're taking more than you're giving. So when I started as a DJ, I mentioned my friend Jack, who I offered to pay him to help me get through the first wedding, and he was like, buy me a scotch, I'll stand there and make sure you do it, keep your money. I think I was making $350 for the gig. I would have given him the whole thing just to teach me how to do it, just to get the order right, take the notes. So he had said to me, listen, somebody helped me on my first wedding and you're going to help someone else. And I ended up with 8 DJs at the height of my career owning the company. I had 8 guys working for me, and I did exactly that. I taught each of them how to earn a living as a DJ, and here's the format for the wedding. Here's where you can bend. Here's where you can't bend. This is where you tell the caterer to go fuck yourself because this is what we're doing. Otherwise, they're going to ruin your night. This is when not to stand your ground and just put your hands up and say, yep, whatever you say. So all those things. In every part of my life, I try to achieve the balance. I try to not take more than I can give. And when it comes to music, if I find the song and it speaks to me and I can deliver the song and have it speak to someone else, that's a balance in that relationship.
Wow. That is the first time I've heard that kind of answer. That was an excellent answer.
Well, that's because you never had a DJ on before.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you want to answer that question again? Damn producer, I can't find this Mr. Jonathan and how he was supposed to be happening to help me here. So do you get the same satisfaction from DJing music to people as you feel the people that created the music would get if they performed it? I don't know how else to ask the question. That is not the question. You
can ask that question exactly, and I can answer it.
Do you get the same satisfaction from a cover as you do from an original?
If the cover swings. So there's certain times where I made a remix once where I think it's pronounced BB Rexa. She has this. She had a song. I don't even remember the name of the song, but I found the instrumental of it, and it was sort of a new age, revised, louder, New Jack kind of swing.
Coming at you.
And it was the exact same key as Eric Clapton's Cocaine.
Ooh.
So I stripped out
a whole key.
I stripped out the drum track and mixed in her drum track, softened the instruments.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at that whole key thing.
I don't understand the joke.
It's Eric Clapton's Cocaine, and the next word you said was the whole key. Or whatever. I'm sorry. A kilo of cocaine. It's key.
See, I don't.
See, that's the difference between a musician and a DJ. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll for us. For you, what is it? It's I peed in that cup because no one could see me behind the DJ booth. I'm not allowed to leave. No, that never happened to you?
Anyway, So I basically created my own cover, and it swings better than original Cocaine. It has less of a grunge feel to it and more of an up feel. There's other ones like Stray Cat Strut. I've got a great jazz version of it that swings. So there's just certain times where, yeah, the cover's better than the original. There's other times where the original's better. It's kind of on a song-by-song basis.
I like that.
Like Jeff Buckley, if you heard Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah and then you hear Jeff Buckley's, the cover
it
is better.
Or is it Ale?
Either one.
I guess, I mean, as a musician, I crave performing for people, whether they want to see me there or not. I am craving to have people heckle me. I'm craving to have people just like what I'm playing if they like it. If they don't, they don't. Whatever. But do you crave the performing, getting
When
out
I
there and
have
doing
a
it?
song that I know is gonna hit, I cannot fucking wait to play that song. I have to play it. It has to be in front of an audience. It has to be my gift to them. There's nothing better than imposing my will on the audience for their benefit. I don't mean it nefariously.
They need this.
They need this song in their life. They just don't know it yet. Because if you left it up to the audience, it would be Love Shack on repeat. That's 4 on the floor. It's terrible, but that is the lowest common denominator song.
No. Rock Lobster is terrible.
They're both terrible.
I should ask, what is the most terrible song, and just stop getting a check
B-52s.
mark.
I had to remix the song to make it shorter because people just want to get to Tin Roof Rusted. So I had to make
right.
a 3.5 minute version because it's 5.5 minutes. I'm not going through that. I did the same thing for Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I made a 4-minute version of it so we could just cut to the chase and get to the back and
the
forth
sex
bullshit
at the end.
Right.
That's what he wanted to get to. All right, well, Mr. Jonathan, I really do appreciate you coming and doing this interview with me.
You were doing this interview whether you wanted to or not.
I know, so it was his idea to come on, not mine, to ask him. This is my older brother. I do respect him. I do treat him as if he was the person who raised me because he did have a big hand in doing so. I wouldn't be doing a podcast. I wouldn't even be putting things on YouTube if I hadn't already seen the manlier way to do things, even though it was destructive and hilarious. Most of his are those still up?
They're
Some of
still
those
up.
videos?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Manly
manlier way to drive a golf ball. Oh, so good, so good. The manlier way to take a punch. Is that still up?
That's still up.
That's us collaborating on a video. Ah, good one. You should look that one up. Manlier way to take a punch. So that is the Amateur Theater with Mr. Jonathan. I am trying to figure out how we're gonna do a closed curtain session with a DJ. We're gonna figure this one out. We'll see.
Well, I could play my AI music, but
All right, no. Let me be the host, please.
Be the host.
I'm always having to tell him what to do. So anyway, Amateur Theater. We will see you on the next episode. But before we do that, we have another segment called This or That, and I am very curious at which one of these is the one. Here it is. I have multiple this or that's. Normally I would put a whole DJ list for him, but I don't. You could probably do everything we do here. So this is 100% about music. There is no Marvel comic references at all.
Damn it!
Okay?
Because it's Superman.
Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Wonder Woman or Catwoman?
Wonder Woman.
Joker or the Penguin?
Joker. Jack Nicholson's Joker, though. Burgess Meredith did a good Joker, but Jack Nicholson's.
It's the only one I really consider. I
Twisted.
mean, it's good. It's good. AC or DC power? Basically, battery or plugging things in.
Well, it's really difficult to weld with a battery. You can do it with a coat hanger, but so I'm going to go AC, alternating current.
Okay.
I see what you did there, though, with the punniness.
Yes. Guitar or bass?
We're talking lead or rhythm. Guitar.
Thank you.
Bass
Electric or acoustic?
Acoustic.
Okay.
Because you can do that by the campfire.
Vinyl or tape?
Vinyl.
Tape or 8-track? No, I'm just kidding. Simon or Garfunkel?
Ooh, Simon.
Okay.
That was
Third-
my other perfect song. Like a bridge
'Cause he never
under
got into
troubled
it.
water.
Yeah.
Simon writes the song. Sorry to interrupt. He writes the song, gives it to Garfunkel. Garfunkel sings it, sends it back to Simon and says, we need a third verse. So Simon writes the third verse. Amazing. There's a whole documentary on just that song, 35 minutes long. Amazing song. Another perfect song.
Yes.
Just because of the giving back and forth between the two.
You never mentioned that you liked anything like this, but Iron Maiden or Metallica?
Metallica.
Okay. Hall or Oates?
Hall.
In Van Halen, Sammy or Dave?
Sammy.
Yeah, buddy. Hendrix or Clapton?
Clapton would say Hendrix.
Because all guitar players feel that way.
Yeah, I'm going to say Hendrix.
Okay.
He almost made Clapton quit.
Paul, George, Ringo, or Lennon?
Ringo.
Willie or Stapleton?
It's Willie.
Willie Solo or Willie Highwayman?
Ooh.
Oh, these are
Highwayman.
Yeah, buddy. Elton or Bowie?
Elton.
All right. Country or classical music?
Which country? Willie country? I'm going Willie country.
Both kinds of country and western.
Yeah, Willie country.
All right, country. Country or rock?
Still Willie country.
Country or blues?
I'm going blues. More swung 16th notes.
Okay. This is. Yeah. Okay, just making sure this is the one.
Would be a little late.
Sinatra or
Sinatra.
Martin? Okay. Time or field?
Time because of Morris Day and the.
And in time. So that said, Ed Sheeran or John Mayer?
John Mayer.
Because of his guitar playing or his singing and guitar playing or his theory?
His guitar playing is top notch. He's up there. His songwriting up there. His performance up there. He's a total package. I love Ed Sheeran too, but you're asking me to pick between the two.
Yeah, I know.
It's John Mayer.
Rhythm or blues?
Blues.
And the biggest question of them all, this or that?
When I started, I was gonna say this. Now after all these questions, that.
You know why it's that? He just doesn't like this. It's a plain and simple thing. The Amateur Theater coming straight at you. Stay tuned for our next episode. I got a really cool guest coming up real soon.
Way
In fact,
better than me.
I'm recording him on my birthday. That's how I just wanted to make sure he was coming in to the studio to get this done. No, you have been an excellent guest, Mr. Jonathan.
Thank you.
My brother, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. We will see you on the next one. And just remember one thing. If you're not living, you're not laughing. And if you're not laughing, you're certainly not
Living.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good night, folks. Stay. Weekend. Rally it up. Cut.